session is being recorded. Yeah, so it says recording. So let me go back to share screen. So keep going through the little slideshow. Thank you everyone for being here. Why are we doing performances? To know we're not alone. I mean, more than ever, it's important for us to come together and hear what everyone's thinking and feeling. People need each other. So let's hear what the students have to say. Students, you need to lift each other up. I feel like a lot of the rehearsals have felt sort of like therapy. You guys have been like, oh, I really relate to you, or I know what you're going through. And it's a chance for us to be close when we can't even be close. So let's go, let's be some human. We are working on impacting our audience because you know what Jackie Robinson said, right? Life's not important unless we impact the audience or something like that. So we're going to be like J-Rob and we're going to go ahead and we are going to have an impact on our audience. So the student's assignment is to kind of alter your thinking about different kind of social issues. So to keep that in mind. And we're here to listen. We're here to be alive. Theater means to be alive in Greek. Hey, Miss A! Woo! Greek shout out. The word theater is a Greek word. Today we will see the light in each other and be the light for each other. So that's my cheesiness. Let's see. And then it's a space to be respectful and to be, that's supposed to be heard, but we're going to share our hearts. So we're going to be a space to share our hearts, total typo. And this is a space for listening. So make sure that you are on mute unless you're the performer. So I will model and I will mute in a second. And enduring understanding, our stories are important. Our stories matter. Our stories are as good as the stuff in books and on Netflix. And if we can face our conflicts as a group, we can solve them, right? And we're gonna kind of like dream for a better tomorrow. Okay, I already feel like I've talked enough. Performers, make sure you're reaching for your vocal crescendo. You know, don't hold back. You know, go extra and make sure you're in a space that's quiet if possible, like a closet or something. Just, and then make sure your microphone isn't covered. And remember, we lift each other up with those twinkles. Woo! Twinkles in the chat. Can I see some twinkles in the chat? Let's practice. Rules: stay muted unless you are the performer. If you interrupt someone, I'm going to report you to Miss A, and she's right there to see you. And then give Miss Melgar some a welcome. Look, Mindy Melgar, she's here. Give her a twinkles. Woo! Love it. Love new staff members. Here we go. Drama students, please use your drama vocabulary in your T-charts as you're taking notes. And, you know, be respectful. And yeah, it's 40% of your grade. So pause, slow down, and let your ending land, everyone. Don't share your face. It says share your face. Don't do that. But state your name and whether or not you wrote it or not. Okay? Whether or not you wrote your piece. All right. And I'm so proud of them. This is normally what a showcase would look like. But it's like this. And they're making it happen. I mean, it's completely amazing that they're doing this. They're inventing Zoom performances. How awesome are our students? So that's just phenomenal. And they're focusing on using their voice. You got to move though, guys. So maybe you want to stand up when you're performing, even though you're not showing your face, stand up. Okay, let's do this, everyone. I think that's all I got. Here's the order. Okay, I am going to put the order in the chat. Share. Here comes Leslie, copy link. And I thought I already put it in the chat, but who knows? Okay, everyone's saying good afternoon. Let's go drama. I love that, Lucia. I love that positivity. So there's the order in the chat. And then the students will share the screen. So I'll kind of like keep an eye on the order, but we're gonna start with Carla George. Let's give Carla George some twinkles. She'll share her screen and her script if that's possible, Carla. Is that possible? No, you're having some tech issues. Woo, Carla! Woo!
No, I can't share the screen. It says that.
Oh, I have to stop sharing, right. Okay, you share.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay, that's Carla. Carla's a senior, and I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay, is it visible? Is my mic working? Okay, sorry. Okay. So this is a monologue called Feeling Stuck by Carla George, and I'm a senior. Thank you. I feel stuck. I feel like the world around me is moving and I'm here, stuck. The world around me feels like pretend, and being stuck seems like there's no end. And you see the same four walls over and over again, you begin to question your sanity, just to a certain extent. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be with the screen between you and I. A barrier that I've learned to despise, the truth behind my hurting and my own demise. I'm over having this pretend life. Life is going. Life is moving. And here I am, stuck. I go to school and learn nothing. I sit behind a screen and learn nothing. I participate in my activities and feel like nothing. Everything feels like an option when it isn't. And at this point, I'm existing, not living. And that to me is a true tragedy. I understand that sometimes one should press pause. But when where you press pause is where the problem is at, that is when someone feels stuck. Because right now, I have no control over who presses pause. And I guess in the end, that's the true cause. Realizing there is no true control. But hey, that's life. Having no true control, but learning to adapt. I know I will get better, but until then, that's where I'm at. That's my headspace. Complete and utter lack of motivation. The truth behind my own personality's demise. Thank you.
Twinkles. Sorry, I'm getting used to the hosting. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Carla. Please write your feedback to Carla in the chat. A lot of people are saying that they can relate. So we do theater to know we're not alone. JB, thank you for that, Carla. You're up next.
So do I share my screen? Yeah, or?
Yes, yes. Yes, actors, you share your screen. JB comes to it. He's a senior, and he did not take drama 1, but he is phenomenal. And he's my son. He's in my advisory. This is me doing my host chatter. How am I doing? Okay, thanks. I need the thumbs up, teachers. All right, JB, you're on.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Do you want us to hear the music in the back?
No, my bad about that, my bad.
Okay, just thought, yeah, okay.
We first heard it 4 years ago, last presidential election. People from Mexico are bringing drugs. We're rapists. We're stealing jobs from Americans. See, now that got me to a personal level. My parents aren't into politics like that, but they worried. I don't remember too well, but as an 8th grader, a child remembers worry. We shouldn't have to live in a home when we are worried, when we are afraid. How can we call this America, the land of opportunity? When we are afraid, we need to end that fear. We need to crush it. Fast forward 2020, 4 years of Trump, 4 years of hearing, build the wall. Mexicans are rapists. They take our jobs. Really? We're in a pandemic. We are losing jobs. My mom is fortunate enough to still work for now. My stepdad, works but doesn't get the full hours. Now it isn't just me. but everybody's getting affected by it. While citizens are getting their stimulus check, we have to find ways to get money to pay the bills. Yet we still get blamed for stealing jobs. Doesn't make any sense. I remember as an 8th grader thinking to myself, why are we getting called this? What did we do to deserve this? I don't remember exactly what I felt, but I remember my mom working her ass off to provide the little she can for me because I'd rather have the bills paid than having the newest Nikes. Sometimes people need to realize what is happening because if you ask me, if it wasn't for us job stealing Mexicans, people wouldn't have their fresh produce and cold cuts, or wouldn't have their roads paved, their grass always cut and looking nice. It only gets worse from there. We get called wetbacks, and to me, for what? We came here to look for better opportunities and to work for our kids and our future generations to be able to succeed. We get sent back to Mexico. We get separated from our families. Prime example right now, we get thrown in cages. I get it. We came in illegally. I understand that. Just because we broke the law, we shouldn't get treated like this. I just want people to end the racism, the stereotypes they have for colored people and for minorities. We only take jobs that no one wants to do. Let me take you inside my head. Fast forward 2050. I'm running for president. This is my platform. Maybe you're running, or maybe someone else is running. This is what we want. This is our America. Everybody getting along, being there for one another, helping each other out, ending or at least reducing stereotypes and racism. So, what's our next step? Well, first, we just gotta believe. And that's it.
Woo, that's what I want. JB 2050. Drop your twinkles in the chat or anyone. Next up, Enedina Pineda. You in the room? Enedina, are you here? Are you here? Look at all the chat, the twinkle storm in the chat. Truth. Enedina, you're not here?
Yes.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Okay. All right. She's on. Give her twinkles. You're a 10th grader or 11th grader?
10th.
All right, 10th grade. And you just are new to our school this year. Aren't you excited? Okay, go. I'm going to stop being awkward. Share your screen.
Okay. Well, my poem, it's called Too Young, and I made it. You say I'm too young. Too young to be depressed. Too young to hate. Too young to be heard. Too young to feel hopeless. Too young to witness reality. Too young, too ignorant. You're right. I am too young. Too young to know that while I'm making my way to class, my classmate and her sister are fighting for their lives after being struck and dragged underneath the wheels of a dump truck. The battle of their lives now remains in history, and now are in a better place. Their names were Marlene Lorenzo and Amy Lorenzo. Too young to see in the news marching and protesting, to see people in the news marching and protesting, to be heard while insults are being yelled at them. Feeling hopeless because I'm too young. Hearing the sirens of the cops go off, sending people back to their homes, and the curfew Amber Alert going off on my phone. Too young to see the LGBT community wanting love and acceptance, but instead finding hate and rejection because they were disgusting signers who were just confused. Sobbing in such grief because no one would help them, because their cries were too fake, because they were too young to know real pain. But yes, I am too young. But you cannot blame me for my awareness of reality. My generation was born with info at our fingertips. We were told to sit quiet because the adults were talking. You had your chance. Now it's our turn to speak. You say we are too sensitive because we're normal teenagers who can't control our emotions, and therefore, we can't have opinions. Watching the world burned around us was expected, but we fully intend to repair the damage you have so carelessly done. You are done by saying too young. My generation will rise.
That was amazing. I can't say anything because it was amazing. It's your turn to speak, guys. So happy you're at our school. Natasha, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you, everyone, for your story. Thank you for being here. You could share your screen, Natasha.
Okay.
Thank you, Nadia. That was beautiful.
Okay. This is my monologue that I wrote called Society's Expectations. Society is confusing. One second they want something, then the next it's not right. Why can't boys wear nail polish and skirts? Why? Because their life depends on it. Wearing feminine clothes doesn't define you. Why can't girls wear shorts and crop tops? Because girls are afraid of the next guy that'll look at them. Afraid they'll get snatched up in a quiet neighborhood. Just be yourself. I can't just be myself. No one can. Because we are so afraid of the judgment we might receive from being ourselves. So instead, we cover it up and be the person society expects us to. We wear the clothes they want us to wear, make jokes about topics that aren't funny. We might even pretend to like things we might hate. There's free dress at school, but there's a dress code. So you see the words free dress basically means we can wear what we want, right? Wrong, because even then we're expected to not wear certain things. Being different isn't good, nor is it bad. It just depends if society likes your difference or not. So yes, society is confusing.
Woo! Thank you so much, Natasha. Love that crescendo. Luis Serrano, you're up next. Awesome. So proud of these 10th graders performing with the 11th, 12th graders. All right, Luis, you got this. Go 10th graders. Luis, I can't hear you if you're talking. Woo, 10th grade.
Yes, sorry, miss. I was getting my screen. So my name is Luis Serrano. I'm a senior, and this is a monologue that I wrote. They say anything in life is possible. I agree. But what does society have to say about it? You see, I am a 17-year-old in the area of South Central here in LA. I come from Mexican parents who came here into the US in search of a better life, not only for them, but for their kids. Doesn't seem like a lot, right? Wrong. I've lived my whole life in fear that I won't succeed. The fear that you won't be given the opportunity to succeed just because you are a person of color. I have two options in this life. Two options given to me both by my father and by society. Te pones a estudiar o te pones a trabajar. A phrase I was told when I was very young. It translates to you either study or you work. And since that day, I haven't stopped. I have given it my all both in and out of school. Started working at the age of 11 or 12, and I've had many ways to make my own money because I wanted to give myself the financial life that my parents couldn't. And I look back now with no regrets. No regrets of working for my own shit because I've learned to make my struggles my opportunities. I am a Latino, born from Mexican parents, but that's all society needs to treat you differently. Why? Because I wasn't born to rich white parents who could offer me everything, because my parents couldn't afford tuition to a private school, or because I'm not given everything I want. So I'm not white. What's the deal? And I'm not alone. I speak for every single young Latina boy or girl. Because we shouldn't be discriminated against because we aren't white. And we shouldn't be discriminated against because our parents weren't born in this country. I'll admit, I sometimes do wish I was born into a rich family. Just so that you could have everything you want in life. You know, new kicks, new whips, new PlayStation. You guys know what I'm talking about. But then, I look back to my family, a humble family, made up of hardworking parents doing everything they can to see their children succeed. And I couldn't ask for anything more in the world. I am a young man in South Central. My name is Luis Serrano, and I won't stop. I'll see you at the top. That's scene.
I love that. That ending makes me smile so much. Thank you, Louise. Can we give him a twinkle storm? Give everyone a twinkle storm. That's my son, my advisory son. Okay, here we go. Next, we have Rogelio, who's doing a piece on being in quarantine. Rogelio, can you share your screen?
I was wondering if you could do that.
Can someone else? Okay. Rogelio, I will share it for you. Let's have the next person go. Alexandra, are you in the room? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Itzel. Itzel Chavez?
Yes.
Okay, may you please go, and then I will set up for Rogelio. Itzel is a sophomore. Let's go, 10th grade. Woo! 10th graders representing. Can you share your screen, Itzel? Maybe you weren't ready. Okay, she's on. All right, give her some twinkles.
How is it possible that racism is still happening in the world? It is more than obvious that racism is a problem, but society tends to see it as a joke and make it seem like it's okay. People of color get treated horrible. People of color are being called names, and it makes me angry because no one deserves to get treated like that. Many innocent people are dying every day because of their race. Just because of our race, we are already a threat to society. On March 13, 2020, Breonna Taylor was shot to death by the Louisville police officers. The officer entered her apartment in Louisville, Kentucky, executing a search warrant. They knocked before forcing entry, but whether and how they announced themselves before forcing entry is disputed. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, thought they were intruders and fired a warning shot at them. The officers fired 32 shots in return. Her boyfriend was unhurt, but Taylor was hit by 6 bullets in her hallway inside her apartment and died. And no drugs were found in the apartment, and yet the police were charged for the shots they missed. At times like these, I wonder, why are people racist? And how can I help to stop racism? It gets me mad, because what do people win with being racist? No one deserves to get treated like that. The problem with this is that people see it as an accident because they made a mistake. People need to open their eyes and realize that it's no joke. People are getting killed because of the race. How many more have to die for people to understand this is not okay? Racism is still going on, and who knows for how long it will continue. But we have to try to stop racism from happening. I want us to think about the fact that we should live in a world where we are get treated equally, and we shouldn't have to worry about our safety. We shouldn't get treated differently because of our race. People shouldn't have to live in fear that we might get killed at any moment just because of our skin color.
Twinkles. Thank you for that, Itzel. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your bravery. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who's giving twinkles in the chat. Feel free to just give people shout outs. It is a big time deal to perform for the first time.
I'm gonna cut you every single lunch, and I'm gonna have you dinner.
Please.
Yeah?
That would actually help.
You're gonna be like, no, but I'll do it later.
Probably.
And I'm like, no, Juan, do it.
Okay, I muted them. I don't think they knew they were off mute. Okay, Rogelio, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna share my screen. Thank you, Itzel. Thank you, everyone who's giving positive feedback in the chat. Okay, Rogelio, this is Rogelio's piece on quarantine. You ready, Rogelio?
Yep.
Okay.
By the way, if you hear people in the background, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't.
Okay. Quarantine, a state, period, or place of isolation in which people or animals that have arrived from elsewhere or have been exposed to infectious or contagious diseases are placed. Possibly a week, a month, perhaps even 2 months. Gradually, my mind ceases to lose count of the weeks, days, even hours as they move by. There is no difference between a Monday nor a Friday. The clock's hands appear to be running a long-distance race as I sit for what I see as a straightforward second, while others watch for quite a long time. My mind discloses to me that it's all right to be lazy from time to time, or that I could just simply do that later. I get myself not having the desire to leave my bed since what's even the point these days? What is the point these days? I wake up, now work, rest, repeat. Wake up, now work, rest, repeat. Wake up, now work, rest, repeat. Time is certainly not a basic tracker. It's a cloudiness that I connect for, yet I can scarcely get a handle on when I have it held as close as I can until it goes fluid and falls into the void of nothing. Since I no longer observe what's around me, basically myself, all by myself. This isolation, this quarantine is a hallway of mirrors, seeing our reflection, looking at myself in the mirror. Wake up, not work, rest, repeat. Wake up, not work, rest, repeat. Just myself. Wherever just indicating to me a variant of myself I have never met, I basically state, that isn't me. It isn't so terrible. When truly I am looking directly into the eyes of the most genuine form of myself and anybody has ever observed. But what does this have to do with the coronavirus? We just feel lazy and exhausted. Ain't that so? We miss seeing others and socializing, in spite of the fact that shouldn't something be said about the ones who never needed to go out in any case. The ones who previously felt caught with no chance of getting out. The ones who previously felt isolated as far as they could tell. So for what reason does this disease cause indication to them too? Quarantine is like being caught in the middle of a tornado of color while being blind. It's beautiful, yeah. But when all you can feel is the push and the pull of the winds, you deny yourself the privilege to even dare to look for a way out. You simply wait for it to stop. Spinning, 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 push, pull, pull. But it doesn't stop. It never does. And that's okay. It'll stop eventually. You just need to open your eyes. That's the scene, by the way.
Woo! Thank you, Rogelio. Tornado of color. I love it. Okay, that was awesome. It's very helpful for me to hear a student put words to what's happening in the quarantine. And next we have, I lost the sheet because I was sharing. Who's next? Stop share.
Kevin Morales.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to have a stage manager. All right, here we go. So who's next, Gabriel? Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Okay, great.
Is it sharing? Is it sharing?
Yep.
All right. My monologue is called America by me, Kevin Morales. Oh, America, land of the free, home of the brave, freedom of speech. Sounds good, right? That's what I thought too, until I found out how bad this country it really is. The president wants to make America great again, but can't even condemn white supremacy. Racism is still happening to this day, but that's just freedom of speech, right? Undocumented families are still being separated. Kids are being put in cages because they are seen as illegal, but that's just the law, right? Are they really illegal though? No, they're not, because they're just here for better opportunities, a better life. It seems like this country just wants to discriminate towards people of color because they see us as less. I hate that someone who is black is scared because they might get pulled over and possibly die to cops because they see their color as a threat. Or an immigrant who is scared that one day they will get caught by ICE and be sent back home and be separated from their family. No one, and I mean no one, should go through that. But even then, it's not just a corrupt government. It's us. We are messing up this country from climate change to even gentrification. We must step up and stop the injustice in this country. Because if we don't, it will be too late. I want to live in a country where everyone is seen as equal, because I'm afraid that maybe one day they will take my parents away from me too. That's the end.
Thank you for speaking from the heart, Kevin. Look at all the twinkles that are pouring in. Twinkle storm for you, Kevin. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for everything. Thank you, everyone who's gone. Abriel, quick, tell me who's next.
Miriam Rodriguez.
Miriam, are you in here? I think you are.
Yes.
All right, here you go. Let's go. 10th grade representation, sophomores. 2023? That's crazy.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Miriam Rodriguez, and I wrote this piece all by myself. And here it goes. Dear society, how is it possible that you have so many stereotypes and expectations for a person and still find a way to tell us you should be yourself? For example, society says you should be yourself and be happy for who you are. But if you want someone to love you or take interest in you, you need to look like this. Or if you're a man, you need to look like this. Or if you're a woman, you need to act and look like this. I will never forget the day I realized that I will never be good enough for this world. There will always be people, or even yourself, who will find an imperfection about yourself and feel bad that you do not fit in with the consideration of being beautiful. This has been going on since the beginning of time. They say that if you're a boy or a man, you can't cry because it shows off weakness, or you always have to be strong and manly, or to never show emotion because then you'd be acting like a girl. And also how they say that little girls have to grow up to be women who have to stay home and do all the cooking and cleaning, and we always have to look our best according to our husbands or boyfriends' desire, and how we are less than a man. I remember feeling like I wasn't good enough and I needed to change who I was to be considered beautiful. All because I would see girls who were skinny and had nice bodies with beautiful hair and eyes and beautiful clothes that I most certainly did not have at the time. At times like these, I wondered if I was good enough for others, or am I even good enough for myself? So I changed myself completely so I can believe that I was beautiful. The truth is that I didn't notice how unhappy I was because I was not myself. I realized a little too late that the little girl I saw in the mirror every day was not who I was, but who they wanted me to be. As time went on, I started to love myself and accept myself for who I was. It took some time, yes, but I got there. People need to open their eyes and see that we should be whatever we want to be in this world without judgment. This was the moment that I began to understand that people are beautiful and perfect the way we are. Society has a blindfold on our eyes, blinding us from our beauty within us and out. I believe all the society wants from us is control our generation because we are the future, and they want to see the world the way they see it so we can be just like them. But slowly, I started to notice that some people saw the world the way I've been seeing it, and we started not to care about what this society has to say about us. But there are still people under the blindfold, and we need to go on and help others finally see their true beauty and help them find their self-confidence. I want everyone in this world and audience to understand that we should never change because of all these stereotypes and expectations the society throws at us, but to understand that we are all beautiful the way we are.
Woo! Guys, why isn't Miriam president? That's what I think during moments like this. All right. I mean, you're so brilliant and so amazing, and you're in 10th grade, and that's just awesome. I'm floored. Okay, Twinkle Storm.
Why is she not in our class?
She's a 10th grader.
Oh.
Yeah, she's awesome though, right? Okay, who's up? Angie. Let's go, Angie Sevilla. Angie, can you share your screen? Are you there? Is this thing still on?
It's like glitching out, so I don't think I can.
Okay.
So,
does someone here? Let me see if I can. Your script. Why don't you go, and then I'll see if I can find your script. I mean, someone else go. Sorry, I'm not making sense. After Angie, Juan, can you go? Or am I sharing your screen for you too?
You want me to go, miss?
Yeah, can you share your screen, sweetie?
Yeah.
Okay, share your screen, and then I'll get Angie set up.
All right.
Guys, this is Juan Carranza. He's one of my sons, advisory child. Woo, JC! I just can be a little bit more awkward. I don't know.
My bad, miss. Let me see.
But anyone got a dad joke? Okay, here we go.
Can you see it, miss?
I can, and so can everyone else.
We. All right, miss. Hold up. It's 2020, and I'm a dad. I'm a dad who's trying to be a senior during the pandemic, and I'm a dad to 2 boys. I'm a dad to 2 senior boys. Oh, wait, hold up. My bad. I messed up, miss. Okay, can I start again? All right. It's 2020, and I'm a dad. I'm a dad who's trying to be a senior during the pandemic. I'm a dad to 2 boys. I'm a dad and a senior to 2 boys. And get this, I'm also a special education teacher because I'm helping them with distance learning. It becomes a routine where I have to try and get the glass before he starts tipping it. And if it's not milk, it will be food. And they will scatter it everywhere. And I don't like messes, so I have to pick it up. And it's not like the mess is just a small area. It's to the max. He makes messes as if he has a passion for it, as if he's trying to tell me something. I know they're not my kids, but I raised them as if they were. So at the end of the day, those kids are my passion because I would do absolutely anything for them. And even if I didn't have a dad, that doesn't mean they shouldn't have a dad either. So where do I go from here? Where do we all go from here? How do we parent? How do we teach? And how do we get to school ourselves? We need to solve this problem because my 2 boys come first. So where do I go from here? I'll go wherever I have to, and you should too. Don't be afraid to fall down and get back up. I know it gets hard. Trust me, I do. But you always be afraid of something you never tried. So just go for it. You have the power to speak it into existence, yet we are afraid to ask or speak up. So as the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, waste no time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. There.
I just need to give a shout out to all of the kids out there who are also parents right now. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to know, but I can imagine, because I see my husband struggling with our 3 kids. I cannot imagine Zooming and doing this while doing what some of you guys are doing. So you guys are heroes, and don't forget it. Good job, Juan. Give him some twinkles. Okay, Angie. Yes? You're awesome, Juan. You got this. You did great. Okay. Give us some twinkles. Okay, Angie, I think I'm good. Let me just make sure I go back to Zoom. Okay, I have too many windows open. Zoom. Okay, share screen. Okay, this is Angie. Angie, a senior. Juan was a senior, and here's another senior. This is Angie. Angie, this is your monologue, right? Angie, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Juan, you did great. If you can hear me, I just want to emphasize you did awesome. Okay? All right, here we go. Angie, whenever you're ready. I can't hear you. Maybe there's something wrong with your sound? Oh, yeah, it's going in and out.
Yeah, it's going. Okay, can I go like later and like figure out?
Yeah, totally.
Miss Copera, you're on mute.
Hi. So next up, thank you so much, is Isaiah. Look how excited Miss A. Oh my God, look, they're excited. They're excited for Isaiah. Isaiah, are you ready?
Yeah, hold on. I'm eating trail mix.
You're eating trail mix. Okay, cool.
My fault. I was just eating happens.
It's okay. It's okay. Angie's figuring out her tech issues. I didn't know. You never know what's going to happen in the Zoom theater, guys. Let's give Isaiah some twinkles.
Can I share my screen, miss?
Oh, yeah, I'll stop share. So sorry. Okay, you're on.
All right, yeah.
All right, bet. This is Isaiah. He's a junior. Let's go, juniors.
You one of the cute ones. Nah, I'm playing. All right, here I go. Let's cut to the chase. I'm black. Well, I always thought that I would be. You see, I grew up with a mother that is 100% white and a father that's 100% black from another country. And then you just see me and be like, huh? How does that happen? So people get confused if I'm black or if I'm white. Some people confuse me of being Hispanic. Yeah, happens a lot. I would always tell them that I'm African American because I want people to think of me as one. But that's never the case because people are always saying that I'm not black enough or I'm more white than black. It's hard because I'm a mixed kid and I'm split between two sides of my world, my white side and my black side. You see, my white side is more peaceful, where everything is okay, where I like to have pumpkin spice and mayonnaise, especially light mayonnaise. But my black side, it's more my tough side, where I like to eat fried chicken, watermelon, and Kool-Aid as the drink. But why do so many parts of my identity have to be a stereotype? Why is that I have racism and stereotypes and assumptions of cutting through my heart? You see, I think of those things because both of these worlds I am in are affecting me in both ways. I feel like an outsider, like I don't belong, or I can't be part of anything. It's like I'm an unknown species that no one wants to mess with or deal with. In middle school, I had a nickname, and people called me White Boy. It was funny, and I had to live with that throughout middle school. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was fine with that nickname because it made me fit in for once. But it showed only to my white side, and people were only thinking about my white side. People have never seen a side of me, and it was making me give up my black side. Like, what's the point? There's nothing good about my black side. We were enslaved, tortured, and always harassed or killed by the police, but my white side was peaceful. Like everything was good. Like there was nothing in the world that could stop this moment. I felt more closer and closer to my white side that I was giving up my black side. But then I realized that world that I want to live in wasn't reality. It felt more like I was being racist to my black side, my other half. I shouldn't be more or less of the other. I have to be one. I am special because I am mixed with two colors from my African culture and my white culture. There will be times that I won't fit in, but I will never be something that I am not and be the person that everyone cares and love about. The moral of this is, if you're an outsider, be happy about it because you're more special and different towards others in a good way.
Bravo! Yay, Isaiah! Woo! Okay, thank you. I just looked down 99 plus messages in the chat. Look at these twinkle storm. Wow. Okay, I love it. It would be like a lot of applause. He said thank you. And Angie, you want to try your sound now?
Is it okay? I logged into
so much better. So exciting. Okay, I'm going to share your screen, right, for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
You're on.
Okay, guys. I am in 12th grade, and I did write this, hoping it inspires others. So it's called "Wait, It Gets Better." Okay. New year, new opportunities, new classes, new everything. The year that I thought I was going to be amazing. Oh boy, was I wrong. Constantly looking at myself and wondering if I'm worth it, wondering if I'm of any value. Before my 10th grade year, I was confident about who I was. I had self-love. That didn't last though. I wish I had someone there telling me I was going to make it. I wish I knew what was going to happen. I wish there was someone there to tell me I was smart. I wish there was someone there to tell me I was beautiful. I wish there was someone there telling me that no matter what, I will always matter. The problem started in summer. I was part of a dance company, and I noticed that everyone was catching on to the moves faster and just by watching, while I couldn't. Why couldn't I? After one time of the instructor teaching us, everyone got the moves, and I was stuck on the first two. I couldn't remember what move came after what. I'm used to getting the moves quick, but I'd realized that this time they were not breaking it down. They weren't dumbing it down. Why do I need to be dumbed down? Why can't I learn like them? Am I stupid? Am I untalented? These thoughts started coming up more frequently. Now, the only activity that had made me feel happy was making me question my worth. I got home every day just to live in a prison, watching my friends' snaps as they go out, watching everyone have fun while I had to stay home, hearing the constant questions and remarks, "Angie, let's go out, let's have fun, you're never around. Do you not want to hang out with us?" In a sense, I was quarantining before we were bound to it. This made me question myself. Am I a good friend? Am I cool? Am I even worth being friends with? I suck. Fast forward to the first day of school, I get comfortable in my classes, and I finally feel like I belong somewhere. I fit in with the smart kids. Clueless. Let's again fast forward, but to the moment it started. I got home, and I had already been stressed out. By this time, school isn't treating me the best. I found myself in the same problem I battled with in my dance class. Everyone seemed to be getting the information faster than I was. They were understanding everything while I couldn't. Am I different? Am I dumb? What is wrong with me? I started being scared to ask questions. I didn't even want to participate. I had been angry that I couldn't participate in my after-school programs. I needed a physical, but my mother would brush off my requests and my questions. I never got a chance to be in that performance that year. Did she even hear me? I had felt like crap that day as well. I had just been degraded. I felt ugly. I was an emotional disaster. Anyway, it was dark. It was around 7:30. I sat down to do homework. I reached into my backpack, and I felt something wet. I took out my hand, and there it was. Everywhere, my pens had exploded. I sat there looking at the mess, looking at my hand, thinking about everything wrong in my life. I ran to the bathroom, and tears burst out of my eyes. I was screaming. But that quiet scream, you know which one I'm talking about? The scream that we make so no one will hear us. The only scream you can let out. My knees weak. I fell to the floor, and suddenly I find it hard to breathe. Oh shit. Here I go. I'm having my first panic attack. I have no idea how long I was in that bathroom for. To me, it felt like hours. Hours of thinking, hours of putting myself down, hours of contemplating my worth. That was the first day of my ever so long depression. So there I go, every day, every night, sad and full of hate. I masked my pain with jokes and laughs. I seemed okay. I seemed like I had everything in control. All that did was just, make me numb to everything. I stopped being social. I lost a lot of friends for not talking. And most of all, I stopped being Angie. I started noticing the shift that was taking place. You wouldn't have been able to tell though. My bad moods, horrible attitudes, my work ethic, it was all suffering just because I was ignoring my issues. This wasn't okay. By not speaking on my issues, I thought I was avoiding feeling pain. But it was just putting me in a more toxic place. One day I had a call of realization. I can't live like this anymore. I need to get help. I need to at least tell someone. And that's what I did. And it made me feel better. Slowly, I started getting back on top. It was the end of the semester. I told my truth during our sophomore promise. It was a long story, but I told it. Seeing the faces of my peers and teachers, finding out what I was feeling, figuring out why I was turning in my work, why I wasn't turning in my work, why I would be sad and anxious whenever I would get something that involved math. Seeing them all understand and want to listen to my story, it gave me this feeling, of satisfaction. It was warm. It was a feeling of happiness, something I hadn't felt in such a long time. I started accepting I was different. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't a Disney movie. I didn't turn 100% happy overnight. It was still hard. It still ate me up. But that performance was the start of my journey. My journey was not easy. It wasn't fast, but it got better. Things do get better. Things will be brighter in your future. People may drop, things may change, but it is all in the process of healing and getting better. I can't stress this enough, guys. Find positive people of which make you feel comfortable. Treat yourself to self-indulging once in a while. Use your passion to help you push through the time. Music was the key for me. Singing from the top of my lungs, jamming, finding my peace. Now, use me as the living example. You will see great days again. You will see happiness. Trust the process. Your crying nights will turn into sleeping nights. Your sad days will turn into laughing days. Things will get better. Do not believe you are not meant to be here. Because you are. You have a purpose. Believe me. Do not think you are less than someone else, because we are all the same, but just some of us are thrown more obstacles, and that's just to build our strength. We are all meant to be here. All have a purpose. Trust the process. I've been put through it all, but I still overcame it. And at the moment, I'm pushing some obstacles out of my way. It never stops. You will make it. You are worth it. You are only human. You are capable of pushing these things out of your way and finding your purpose and finding your happiness. Do not give up. Take chances. I overcame my battle, and you will overcome yours.
Woo! Twinkles! When are all these kids going to open a school? I mean, you guys are awesome. You're teachers. You're amazing. You're brilliant. You're bright. All right. Thank you so much, Angie. Look, you're speaking to so many people. You're inspiring people. Thank you. All right, Abriel, help me out. Who's next? Let's see. Can I find it first? Drama Showcase order. Now I think Josh, right? Joshua Meren?
Yeah.
All right, Joshua, 10th grade. Woo-hoo! Class of 22-3.
You guys see it, right?
Yes.
All right, bet. I was at home watching the news and noticed another black man was shot by a police officer for no reason. He was shot in front of his kids, 7. It's the second incident I've seen so far. A black man being shot by a police officer for no reason. And it's sad that a black man or woman are getting to that point where they're starting to commonly die from police brutality or other stuff. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy with that. Jacob Blake was his name. An unarmed black man who was shot 7 times in front of his kids. In front of his kids. That caused me to want to do something about it. I want to go to a protest and show support. I asked my mom if I could go, but she obviously said no. And I kept convincing her. She finally let me go. And the protest was really loud. People yelling, signs saying BLM. We need a change, or the color of our skin is not a weapon. The protest made me open my eyes. Made me see that people really care about the death of Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy who was playing with a toy gun and he was shot at the park by a police officer, and he died in the hospital. 43-year-old Eric Gardner, he was on the chokehold by a police officer and did not release him after he said, "I can't breathe," 11 times, and he died during the chokehold. 46-year-old George Floyd was held on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and he couldn't breathe and died. These are the sum of all people that died from police brutality. I don't think people should even die from police brutality. But guess what? Still happening. I don't know when it will stop, but truly, I hope it does, today or in the future. I want police brutality to stop now. Me going to a protest feels really nice. Hear people say the words Black Lives Matter, throwing the fist to show support, shows, shows power, shows a lie in the world, shows that we have a voice and it needs to be heard.
Woo, thank you, Joshua. Look at those twinkles come in. Look, woo, don't you feel awesome? I love that feeling after your first performance. You're amazing. Thank you, Joshua, for your beautiful piece. And here we go. Marani, are you here? Jason, are you here? Is Jason in here?
Yeah.
Okay, you're on.
Screen.
Hi, Jason. 10th grade. Let's go.
Can you see my screen? Okay. Society. It's ugly. It's mean, and it doesn't care what's underneath. You must be tanner. You must be thin. And you can't ever let the competition win. If you refuse to play by its rules, then heaven forbid you be you. This poem stood out to me because society is very mean to you if you don't play by its rules. I remember a time when I was in first grade. I got bullied and picked on. There was never a time when I went to school that I wasn't getting picked on. The beginning of second grade was about to start. I was hoping that the kids that would pick on me would transfer to another school, but I was wrong. It was the first day of second grade, and it was lunchtime. They started picking on me. I went home with so much anger that day because I wanted it to stop. Then the next day came, and they tried to pick on me. And in that moment, I just lost it. I got into a fight, and then ever since that day, I became the bully, and nobody wanted to mess with me. After that, I just wanted to beat up so many people because I had so much anger in me. And I did beat up a lot of people. I would always go to the principal's office every day. Second grade ended, and in the summer, I remember I looked in the mirror and saw that I changed. I wasn't the same person I was before, and I decided that I needed to change. I remember I ended up changing before third grade, but the things I used to do in second grade, I still remember them like if it were yesterday. The reason why I remember that is because I still can't believe how I let a bully change my life. This is affecting society because many students struggle with this nowadays, and they're turning into people they don't want to be. This should be said because bullying is such a common thing that is starting to be normalized, but it shouldn't be.
Thank you, Jason. That was awesome. So much knowledge about the cycle of victimization in a second grader. I mean, that's phenomenal. Marbisa, go 10th grade, way to represent 10th grade, but now it's Marbisa, 11th grader, sophomore. Marbisa, are you here?
Yeah.
All right, here she goes. Give Marbisa some twinkles. You got this.
Society, sorry.
I'm sorry, go.
Society shows what to look like, what to dress like, what to eat like, and who they should be like. So maybe, just maybe, that explains why she hates the way she looks, or why she is embarrassed to eat what she wants. But I don't blame her. I blame society for that, for screwing those negative thoughts inside her head, telling her that she was never going to be beautiful, that a person with that many numbers on the scale will never look as good in a dress. Taking millions of photos, just end up deleting them because she looks too ugly, too fat, or just disgusting. Scrolling through her phone and seeing beautiful people with a perfect body, flawless skin, and breathtaking smile. Only to realize that she will never look like that she has more flaws in fingers and toes. But she wouldn't let you know how much she can't stand her reflection. As she walks, she feels a heavy judgment on her shoulders. Many thoughts going through her head, like, why am I so ugly? No one will ever love me if I look like this. Maybe if I just don't eat as much? Why does she tell herself that? Why does she even think like that? Who let her believe that? Society. Those ideas of beauty were bullshit. They show you what they want you to see. They will never show you their flaws or the real picture. And who are they to say you're not beautiful due to your imperfection? Nobody is perfect. Slowly, she learned that beauty wasn't what they told her. Beauty is what she tells herself and what she continues to tell herself. So now every time she smiles because she knows she is beautiful without anybody telling her. She is every woman I see struggle. She is Margarita. She is Geraldine. She is a woman across the street. Beauty is within. Size, color, and differences, it doesn't matter. Everyone is beautiful. Scene.
Twinkles, Marvisa. I just feel so lucky I'm your teacher right now. I just feel so happy. And everyone else, I don't know about you guys. Thanks. I see the teachers smiling. It's nice. Awesome, Marvisa. And I love that you gave Geraldine a shout out. Makes me happy. Okay, who's next? Dun, 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 dun. I keep losing my place. Pedro. Pedro, you do your mime maze? Me, 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 me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does his warm-ups, guys. It's amazing. Me, 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 me. Let's go, Pedro.
All right.
You're gonna share your screen?
Yeah.
Cool. Love it. 10th grade.
All right. Hi, my name is Pedro Lucha, and this is my script. Oh, my monologue. So it says, I want to know how many people are growing up in a bad, gang-infested environment. Some people die because of gangs. Some people are innocent. They're called products of their environments. A lot of my friends died because of gang activity. This day is always going to stay in my brain. I was 12 years old playing basketball with my homies, hoping that I would bust a triple double. A lot of things happen really fast, but we're oh my fuck, can I start again? So I want to know how many people are growing up in a bad gang-infested environment. Some people die because of gangs, but some people are innocent. They're called products of their environments. A lot of people die because of gang activity. This day is always going to stay in my brain. I was 12 years old playing basketball with my friends, hoping that I'll bust a triple double. A lot of things happen really fast, but there were a lot of people that were running like a herd of animals. We kept playing because as a kid, we were always taught to not look at a fight or a bad situation. Pop, pop. A shootout started happening with the gang's opposition. There was just people getting shot back and forth. There was running. There was a whole chaos. I was thinking to myself, what if I get shot and I live the life I want to live? That was my first time being in the middle of a shootout. I wasn't scared because I knew this always happens. I was in shock because I witnessed it. People should know that there are little kids running around playing basketball and that one bullet could cause a fatal casualty. People that live in gang-infested places has a thinking there could be a day that I could die. Little kids think that as well, not only adults. Finally, the shootout stopped, the car went off, and everyone went home. My brother was worried, but we carried on. Years later, I realized that living in the hood can be dangerous and that you could die any day.
Twinkles. Thank you, Pedro. And I love it when you guys start again, you know? That's like awesome. And great crescendo, Pedro. Really, really great. Leo's not in the room. That's correct, right? No Leo? So then if you're not in the room, then it would be Hillary Basorto. You're here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Hillary, are you going to share your screen or should I share your screen? You ready to go?
Can you show? I'll share it.
Okay, and then guys, there's something funky about Hillary's mic. So Hillary, I think like maybe talk a little softer. Anyway, no, just do it how you've been doing. Don't worry. Okay. You're on whenever you're ready. Okay, Hillary, you got this. Or, oh yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's see how it goes.
Okay, my name is Hillary Basurto, and I named it The Darkest Tears. It was a cold, wintry afternoon. I had just gotten off the phone with my cousins. I decided to go to my best friend's house. I had noticed she has been acting weird, but I didn't think much of it. How could I ever think something was wrong with her? Something's wrong with her. Like, come on, she's always happy, filled with joy, always hyped up, laughing, and also helping others to be happy. But little did I know, she was dealing with depression, anxiety, and panic attacks. Depression is the most pleasing thing I have ever seen. It is that absence of being able to engage that you will ever be cheerful again. The absence of hope. That very dead and blue feeling, which is so very different from feeling sad. Sad hurts, but it's a healthy feeling. It is a necessary thing to feel. Depression is so very different and something else, especially if the person you care for the most is dealing with it, but also with anxiety and panic attack. The day I saw her at the edge of her room, begging for hope, is when I realized something was wrong with her. I went next to her and said, "What's wrong?" She looked at me and she said, "I thought I was feeling better. I really did, but sometimes I just sit in the shower trying to figure it out. What is wrong with me and why I'm never good enough?" I couldn't help myself from teaming up with her because I couldn't tell her everything was going to be okay if I didn't like her. She kept telling me that she was broken, that she couldn't even fix her own feelings. I looked at her straight in the eyes and told her, "Why didn't you ever tell me how you felt?" And she said, "Because nobody cares about me. Everyone thinks I'm pathetic and non-existent to them." Seeing me cry broke my heart because I was stupid for not knowing and helping her before. She then started talking to me in French, and since I didn't get it, she translated to me, which meant, "Nobody knows the real me. Nobody knows how many times I've sat in my room and cried, how many times I've lost hope, how many times I've been let down. Nobody knows how many times I've had to hold back my own tears." When I heard this, I hugged her really tight, and we were talking about how she was really feeling. And she said that when she tried to be open with people, they thought she was doing this for attention. For attention! Can you believe that? She just needed someone to hear her out and cry with her and tell her, "I will be here to fight this battle with you, and you won't give up because you still have hope." And I know that. People think they have the right to say that depression is not real and shouldn't be taken seriously. But do I remind you that depression leads to suicide thoughts and not wanting to live? A person that doesn't have depression shouldn't say cruel stuff to teens that do, because they already feel broken, and with those harsh words, even more. And matter of fact, nobody knows what they're going through and how they feel. Depression should be taken seriously and make awareness of it, because it's really important and it's not used for attention.
Twinkles. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you for being an advocate for anyone who struggles with mental illness. And I really appreciate you speaking up for them on a personal level. So thank you. And she's really lucky to have you as a friend. Okay, next. Abril.
Hi.
All right, let's go. Are you gonna share your screen?
Yes. Okay, so the name of my monologue is Women Are Objects. Being a girl is tough sometimes. Everyone's opinions will always come before yours. The way you look will be your biggest concern. If you don't have a big butt, might as well consider yourself a little boy, right? But if you do, don't show it off. People will think you're a hoe. If you're too skinny, then you're anorexic and your body is slowly dying. Hold on, I'm not even close to being done. On the other hand, if you're fat, you need to stop eating. Society will label you as a disease who is obese and cannot control themselves. But be very careful and do not be confident in your body. It makes a man insecure. If you have rolls or stretch marks, you're not a model. You're the ugliest person in the room. If you don't have breasts, people will make fun of you and you'll be invisible. But if you do, hide them. Men don't have the capacity to keep their penis in their pants. You'll get assaulted and end up at the back of an alley just like everyone else. Clothes don't give you permission to sexually harass me or have the liberty to rape me. Feminine products are something to be ashamed of. If you're on your period, then you're disgusting. If you don't send nudes, then you're a bitch. But if they do gain your trust, you will be exposed and labeled as a slut. Not to mention, there's the audacity men have to ask women why they're so insecure and have trust issues. But don't be afraid. The society we live in will change, and all the women who are suffering in silence will be superior to all the opinions everyone is giving them. And scene.
Woo! We had a huge debate about those curse words in class. Talk about a Socratic seminar. But the kids said it was important to say those. Thank you, Abril, for your monologue and speaking truth, and really speaking up for the women and saying things that a lot of girls can't say. I know a lot of women appreciate your honesty and candor. So thank you. I appreciate you. I'm so happy you're in the class. Jaden, is Jaden in the room? Jaden, are you here? No, I don't see you. Unless, okay. Jaden. And then, so that's Brian. Brian, are you here? Brian. Miss Gonzalez in the house. Woo! Brian. I don't see Brian, the student. Am I making that up? Students? Okay. Leslie.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, 10th grade. Woo! 2023. I'm going to keep saying it.
Okay. I'm Leslie, and this is my monologue. How is it possible that bullying is still happening in this world? I will never forget the time when I was sitting down in the library and there was this boy who was passing out papers. It all began when he went up to this girl. She suddenly dropped the papers that he was carrying on purpose and laughed at him. I remember thinking, what happened? Why did she randomly drop his papers? The conflict got worse when she decided to stomp on his papers. Finally, he stood up for himself and he yelled at her to stop. This story clearly proves that bullying is still happening, and I honestly don't think that it will stop. If there was one thing that I would change about the world, it would be to stop bullying, because so many people suffer from it and it can be traumatizing.
For real. Twinkles Leslie. All right, Amar, you're up next. Amar,
I'm here.
2021. Let's go. 21.
So my name is Amar Ladera, and this is my monologue. All right, here it goes. Why do people get judged? Why do people get judged? People get judged because they see us as failures. People think they're superior than others. We should not judge even in this country of America. But people get judged either way. I myself don't know why people judge other people in general. People insist that this is not a problem around the world, but it is. If you're famous, they will judge you. If you're living in poverty, they will judge you. I myself think that nobody should judge one another because you never know what that person is going through in life. I always tell myself, never judge a book by its cover. And that's because of the simple fact that everyone is smart in their own way. Everywhere, and I mean everywhere you go, people will look at you with a different look because everyone grew in a different mindset. People intend that this is not right thing to judge people. But that could lead to that person never being confident because of the fact you told him something, and that is gonna haunt him for the rest of his life. I always put in mind, I don't have some things that other people have. And same with my school. We don't have some things that other schools have. And people think we are not determined to learn, don't have it in us, trying to bring us down because they think we cannot learn. And the ideas that people say about schools being in a ghetto neighborhood, saying we are not intelligent, it's crazy to think that one word can affect everything about you. I was a victim where even teachers judged me by telling me, you are not going anywhere, instead of telling me you have to talk about my grades, where I felt so bad about myself because I never got the help I deserved. I never wanted to ask for help because I felt I was gonna get judged again and again and again. I would say that I never felt comfortable when I was there, but something told me to hold on and not to give up in life. As a kid growing up, I never intended to judge anyone because I know I was not perfect. I know I was struggling in life and there was no need to judge anyone because we're all the same. Society has a
Amar? Did he go out or is it just me?
anyone because trust me, feeling like everyone is laughing at you is the worst thing a kid could go through in life. As I start to grow, I wanted to make a change where no one will judge one another. And do not let anyone tell you anything because you are the only one that knows yourself. No one has the right to judge anyone because even though we come from different backgrounds, everyone is still the same in their own way. And to keep in mind, we all have different struggles in life. So think about what you're gonna say before you say it. Scene.
Woo! Amar for president. Sign me up. I'll be on the campaign. Let me know. No, I'm serious. I want you to run for office. Okay. Okay. Henry? Henry, are you gonna go? Henry? Yeah, when will you be 35? When can Amar be president? Can we talk about that? I'm going to go. Okay. Bravo, Amar! All right, Henry, I'm gonna wait to see if I hear from you. And then Henry. Who's after Henry? Ryan, Leslie, Henry. Johan Castro, are you in the room?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Johan, you're on.
All right. Hi, I'm Johan Castro, and this is a monologue that I wrote. All right. When I was younger, I was labeled as a dumb kid by my teachers and by my relatives. I never thought of myself of being an outstanding student. I was the complete opposite. In my lifetime, I would always get picked by all of the smart kids in my class because I would usually stutter when giving a presentation. It started as early as pre-K. I would always struggle, maybe didn't even understand the subject, or maybe the lack of motivation that made me do bad in school. During the parent conference, my teacher told my parents, I will repeat the grade if I don't try. What's next? I will be suspended for not trying during nap time? Fast forward, I'm in elementary. During my time there was one teacher that stuck out to me, my third grade teacher, Miss Mendoza. Oh boy, she was the embodiment of my nightmares. She would call me out in front of the class and would clap so sarcastically when I tried to do something. I would always get called out by her. She would always use me as an example of what a bad student is. Fast forward, I'm in middle school. During my 6th grade year, I really never understood anything because my teachers would never help me. They would always bother me about how I needed support. I would think in my mind, okay, when are you going to support me? Instead of always reminding me of all of the bad things that I do. Moving on into 7th grade, I was getting worse. I would actually think, what was the point of even trying if I'm just gonna keep getting yelled at? Every single one of them said, where was your mind during class? I needed you here. Funny, I'd ask you the same. Where were your ears when I kept asking you for help? But throughout all of that emotional stress and the constant blaming, there was one teacher who knew that I can achieve greater things. I remember the words that she told me. No matter how many times you count falling down, the only thing that counts is how many times you get back up. No matter how many times a teacher will put you down, or anyone, in fact, I just want to say that there is someone in this world who will help you get through the bad times and will want to see you succeed. And see.
Woo! I want to see you succeed. Johan for president. Maybe Amar and Johan could be on the same ticket. Wouldn't that be a dream ticket?
I don't know about that.
Angie could be on the ticket. I mean, all of you guys, I know, yeah, but like, anyway, I want better things for this country. And I'm hearing a lot of leaders in this room, ba-dum-bum. And that's interesting. You guys are all saying you had Miss Mendoza in the chat. So, Jose Flores, are you in here? Jose Flores, Brian Torres, Jose Flores, Brian Torres, Jose Flores, Brian Torres. Are you guys in here? Yahari, are you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Brian Torres, all right, 10th grade. Woo!
I just have what's called a short poem.
What?
All I have is a short poem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to share your screen?
Yeah.
All right. Got it.
Okay. So my poem is called "The War Is by Me." Okay, so some say that war will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I taste of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great.
Thank you, Brian. Woo! Bravo, bravo. Brevity is the soul of wit. Shakespeare. That means, you know, short and sweet, which is good. I don't know how to be short. I'm going to stop talking now. I write really long emails. I'm trying to make the teachers laugh. Is it working? Yahari! They're laughing. And I highlight stuff. It's so
Yes.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Yahari Jr. She's amazing.
Just gonna share my screen. There. Okay. No human being is illegal. Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor. In 1996, my parents immigrated from Michoacan, Mexico to California, USA. They brought along my 2 sisters and brother. They moved to South Central Los Angeles, and they've been living here for 24 years. My parents came here with the same hopefulness as any other immigrant, in search of the American dream, which claims any person has the right to search for a new beginning and look for opportunities to achieve a better life. Freedom, equality, opportunities. That was what America claimed to have. And of course, there's no such thing as a utopian society, but America seemed to be a better place than others. They left Mexico for a sole reason, a better life. My parents have always mentioned how corrupt Mexico is and how unrighteous it could be. The cartels that are linked with police, the femicide occurring, and the dishonest presidents who promise what they just can't give. So they came to America for us, my siblings and I. My parents wanted us to have dreams of wanting to be something big because they wanted us to accomplish those dreams that they themselves weren't able to. I always thought about becoming a doctor or a teacher. Although I am still unaware of which path I want to pick, I know that I want to get a higher education. I want to prove those stats wrong and be able to confront those who think we won't be able to. To all those who are against our race, our human race. Those who blindly believe they are superior just by their color of skin. I will always be thankful for my parents bringing me to America. I acknowledge the privilege of being able to go to school and to express my opinions freely. I am grateful for what I am able to do. When I was younger and quite naive, I always thought America was flawless and everyone was able to unite. In 2015, a certain person had a comment to make. They're sending people that have lots of problems and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. There were many thoughts that crossed my mind while listening to this person. I was terrified about what would happen if that person were to be our president. I was thinking about my undocumented family. If they were to be deported, who would I stay with? Would I never see my parents ever again? How can someone advocate for separating families? How can they be so heartless? During this person's speech, he speaks about issues outside the border of America without mentioning America's own problems. Nuestra raza está llena de gente trabajadora, resiliente y de mente fuerte. So for that person to think of us that way is so disrespectful. There are plenty of immigrants who come to America with pure intentions of giving their children a greater life. I will never be patriotic towards any country. Every country has their issues, but some prefer to look the other way. I adore Mexican culture and have grown up with my mother's authentic food, celebrating Dia de los Muertos and wearing comfortable huaraches. I will always remember what my parents have given me, a chance to have a greater life. Scene.
Thank you, Yahari. You are proving all of these stereotypes wrong, and thank you for telling your parents' history, because when you speak about their history, you're speaking about so many history for so many parents, and thank you for honoring them, and we really appreciate you, and you're amazing. Mr. Menchaca can't believe that, like, that's you. He's just like, what? But you are amazing, you're stunning, you all are stunning. I love it. Yahari for president. Anthony Ponce, are you in the room? You guys should all take over the White House. Anthony Ponce? Miss Davis is like, yes, please do. Please fix the country. Anthony Ponce? Anthony Ponce, Anthony Ponce. Marian. Marian?
Yes.
All right, here she goes.
Okay.
This is Marian. Marian, class of 2021. Let's go, seniors. Amar says he wishes there could be a 13th grade. Amar, I'd be the 13th grade English teacher. That would be exciting. Da-da-da. Okay, Marion, you could share your screen whenever you want. 12th grade is kind of like 13th grade because of kindergarten. Da-da-da. Okay. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, hi guys. Okay, mine is called Summer. Okay. When summer is the only thing you are looking forward to, it's difficult to think of anything else. The last summer, the summer of long nights, no mask, senior year, crazy nights, and everything else we imagined it to be. But that wasn't the case for me. My summer had just started. The fights, the screaming, the problems, and the worst one, loneliness. What did your summer look like? Was it filled with fun and laughter, long, restless nights, reckless behavior? I bet it was amazing, and I envy you. Want to hear a funny story? I thought I was finally going to be happy. All I felt was despair. I thought I was going to have fun. All I had was sleepless nights and depression whispering in my ear. Stay longer in bed. Do you really need to get up? And finally, I thought I was going to be able to be loud. All I had was my voice gone and taken by him. Now I knew I was depressed. I've had this feeling before. The feeling of complete sadness to the point where I feel numb. I almost can't feel anything anymore. All I saw every night was how my skin easily cut and bruised because how badly I pierced it with my tiny blade. All I touched every night were my other cuts starting to heal. They became my scars. All I heard every night was my depressed, lonely mind telling me to end my life because I felt like no one understood me. No one understood my pain, so they wouldn't miss me, right? Would you miss me? All I could taste every night were my tears. They were so salty, I didn't mind it because I didn't have the will to actually go and eat anything. And finally, all I could smell every night was nothing. I lost my sense of smell because I did not want to smell anymore. I hated everything. Want to know the worst part about everything? I was surrounded by people who didn't care what I was going through. See, I love my mother so much and deeply. But she could never understand me. I showed her my scars and cried and sobbed to her every day that I was not happy. Siempre andas en el teléfono, nunca duermes. You're always on your phone and you never sleep, she said to me. You're okay, it's just because you can't go out anymore. You'll be fine. She said everything she could so she wouldn't blame him. I won't go into full detail about him. He's not important. My mother did everything in her power to stay with him. She even let her 17-year-old daughter leave because she didn't want him to leave. So I left. I realized I don't want to feel like this anymore. I left because I saw an opportunity to be a better person and be a better version of myself. Everyone has their hardships, so this happens to be mine. If you are someone struggling with depression, just know that your feelings are not invalid. Your circumstances do not define you. Take small chances, celebrate your small victories. You are not a burden to your family or to your friends. You matter, and so does your voice. Talk to someone. You are deserving of love. If you know someone struggling with depression, reach out to them and ask them how they are feeling. Have some compassion and empathy. Ask them about their mental health. Ask them what they need. Celebrate their small victories and their big ones. Bring them all the love and joy that you can, because you never know who they're surrounded by. Just by doing small things for them can change their entire mood. I'm done.
Yay, Twinkles. I don't know if you see all the twinkles, but you're really connecting to a lot of people, Marianne. By you telling your story, everyone knows someone who's gone through, or a lot of people who have gone through this, and thank you for that. Can you hang back after the show, during the showcase? Can you stay back, hang back a little sec so I could check in with you a little more, Marianne?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I appreciate it. And Evelyn's coming back in. Okay, I'm blabbing myself. Let's go, Janelli.
Okay, miss. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. My name is Janelli Marroquin, and I'm a senior. The title of my poem is This Little Girl. This little girl, wrapped in her own world, growing older and older every year, but something about it just doesn't sound right. This little girl, this little brown girl, this little brown girl wrapped in her own world, growing older and older every year, hearing the marimbas on a Sunday morning and learning the word home. Here's her mother's accent being mocked and learns the word shame. Here's her mother's weeping and learns the word sacrifice. We internalize racism while idiots in the government want to build a wall that's already built. Idiots that spit stupidity into existence by saying things like, this is America. We speak American in America. My bilingual tongue says fuck your wall. While you sit on your $1,000 chair drinking freshly squeezed orange juice that my Rasta sweats for, I will not sit here and smile while your ignorant ass calls my Rasta wetbacks. I will remain apologetic if the unpredictability of my language choices make you uncomfortable. If being too brown is too much for you to handle. If the reason why we migrate to another country is for a better life. So I suggest you keep your whitewash out of everybody else's vibrancy, because I assure you, esta voz es mi espada. But why is it that I get looked at the color of my skin before I get looked in the eye, as if I was an alien of some sort? Why is it that the first time I walk into a restaurant in a white neighborhood, I feel alone? It's disgusting that I have to sit here and explain to my little niece that the reason why people are looking at us like lions look at their meals before ripping it apart is because of our skin. Because our skin is a little darker than what society has brainwashed people to think is perfect skin tone. I smile and I sit down so the smell of my uncomfortableness doesn't reek enough for people to notice that I feel belittled. I feel alone. I want to wrap myself in my mother's arms while she tells me, mija, va a estar bien. Because my mind still doesn't wrap itself around the biased idea that society has against people of color. But maybe I'm just this little girl wrapped in her own world, growing older and older every year, hearing the marimbas on a Sunday morning and learning the word culture. Here's her mother's accent being mocked and learns the word chingona. Here's her mother's weeping and learns the word love. I will not apologize for my hoop earrings. I will not apologize for my language. I will not apologize for my skin tone. And most of all, I will not apologize for my raza. So be scared, porque yo soy chingona.
Thank you, Janelli. Awesome.
You put on your glasses.
Everyone, Jacob, the 7-year-old's in the room, just so you know. But he came after the swear words. Yeah, Janelli, good job, daughter. All right, Michelle Mendez. I love it when you guys write LMAO.
After what swear words?
Nothing. Okay, Michelle, you're on. Don't censor yourself. I just hope it all works out.
Okay,
let me just share my screen.
High school.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle. I'm a senior. Oh wait, sorry about that. Okay. 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 You see it every day in the news, and you sometimes even hear it in songs. It angers me. It actually infuriates me. It feels like a spider crawling out my skin and into my flesh and bones because your lack of acknowledgement towards women. Every day I hear it more and more, and especially by men. Like, is there anything better you can do? Can you take a minute out of your day and talk to your mother, grandmother, your sister, your aunt, your cousin, or your friend about what they need? Can you take the time to acknowledge a predominantly visible, overlapping system of oppression towards women that is generated by men? It's not the men who feel the need to talk amongst what a woman can or can't do, what can or can't go inside a woman, and what a woman can or can't wear. No. Don't be fooled because your local white feminist just entered the chat. White feminism. White feminism. What does that even mean? What does that even sound like? And the real question is, what does that even look like? And if she is a woman, then shouldn't she be able to talk amongst this topic? Of course. They can, but their values are centered towards empowering white womanhood and dismisses the issues women of color, trans women, or simply women who just aren't women enough. Don't get me wrong, I am not hating on women, nor am I saying those who are white feminists shouldn't deserve their rights as much as any other woman should. But inserting standards on what a woman should look like, act like, talk like, or sound like shouldn't determine their rights. White feminism aren't my allies, and she definitely isn't yours. Like if she isn't trying to make America great again for herself. White feminism does not like my feminism. She calls herself an ally, but doesn't act like one unless she promotes her performative activism. She protests in her tweets instead of the streets, which in her favor is like totally brave. You know, to cause the trending hashtag. She defines the perfectly adequate parameters on which women should get their rights first. And if you don't fit her politically correct culture, then you just aren't women enough. If I shave my legs and my armpits, does that improve my hygiene? Because there's obviously no problem when you're sitting having brunch with Todd and he wears his muscle shirts with shorts that obviously reveal more hair than me. Truth be told, I can't even go to the grocery without feeling the judgment that the sound of my plastic pad unraveling in my hand sound like a marching band banging on my neighbor's stall, reminding them that, hey, no, I bleed out of my vagina every month. And by the way, it's called a menstrual period. Like, am I supposed to be fit to make you comfortable? Am I supposed to make the same modifications like the standards men in your life has placed upon your feminism? Like why does it make you so freaking mad? I know you are aware of the women in your life being mistreated. I am aware of the life in my life being mistreated. Speak up for them, talk to them, ask them how they're feeling because chances are no one has asked them. Women are strong and they're capable of breaking boundaries that have oppressed us for many centuries. They are strong and they are raised with potential overcoming these barriers. Because I know the women in here in this class are just watching this performance and we're one hell of a team. We are much more than what anyone else thinks. We must teach our children and our siblings that there is a spectrum of women that aren't being heard. They come in a variety of shapes and sizes and color. And if you fall into any of the categories above, having body hair, being ashamed of your period, being trans, being thin, being thick, any of the quote unquote flaws that are considered ugly, then you are beautiful. And embrace the beauty and embrace with your heart and your mind. Scene.
Woo! Love it. Go, Michelle. I wanted her to go first. And she was like, why? I'm like, well, you can tell. I mean, she's awesome. All right, Michelle, that was so good. Thank you so much. We have a few more performers, everyone. Let's see. Okay. Juan Hernandez, our comedian. We have our comedian, and then we have Lizbeth, our finale. Juan, are you there? I want to give a shout out to Kristen Davis for being here. And let's see, the teachers. Brian Hernandez is here. It means a lot that you guys are here. The teachers have been coming in and out. You know, everything's crazy these days. Thank you. All right, Juan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
So do I see my screen?
Yeah, you're on.
Got you. Okay, so here it is, guys. In the year 1983, original Metallica guitarist Dave Mustaine was fired from the band for his alcohol and drug-related problems. Now, personally, I wasn't there to experience that. But I'm here to give you guys a really, really dramatic representation of what happened that night. James, how are we gonna tell him? Tell him what, Lars? How do we tell him that he's been fired? Let's give him no warning and no second chance. Okay, let's go find him. So they went to go look for him, and naturally, they found him. Hey, Dave. Oh, hey, James. Do you want to go for a car ride? Sure. So they drove, and they ended up driving him to a bus stop. Why are we stopping here? Dave, you're fired. Here's a bus ticket back to LA. Damn you, James. I'll get my revenge by forming an even better band. Don't use any of my music. So a few weeks later, Metallica was in the studio sorting through their tracks, and they found the gem known as Jump Into the Fire. Hey, James, what are you going to do with this song? Let's add that to our album. But they said we weren't allowed to use his music. That's right. What should I do? Honor one of my closest friends' last request, or do I use his music without his permission? Yeah, let's add this to our album. So once Dave Mustaine got back to LA, he quickly formed a new band, which would later become known as Megadeth. Dave quickly formed one of the most important thrash metal bands of all time. Now, there are many things that Dave could have done. He could have continued to let his addictions get to him. He could have given up and forgotten about music. But instead, Dave picked himself up and formed a new band. Now, Dave's story is a story of perseverance, going from an all-time low to persevering and forming one of the most successful bands of all time. My story is similar, but not so similar, because I didn't get kicked out of my band. However, my story is about persevering through the darkness and finding a light at the end of the tunnel. It was the summer of 2020. I was stressing about many things, my band, the fact that I had barely spoken to any of my friends, and my insecurities and my problems were all getting to me, and they were piling up. Would my band get to where it wanted to be? Do my friends really care about me? Does anyone in the world give a snot about me? And every day, it just got worse and worse. Why do you hate yourself? Is it because you're a loser? Is it because no one loves you? Is it because you're nothing but a stupid, insecure piece of crap? The stress was getting to me. And every night, I was sleeping less and less. Every day, I hated myself more and more. And right when it felt like my mind and my world were about to explode on me, I heard a song on Spotify radio, which, technically speaking, changed my life. The song was Superman by Goldfinger. When you first hear the song, it sounds happy and really upbeat. When you read the lyrics, you realize it's kind of depressing. However, I clicked with it so well because it related to what I was feeling. So here I am, doing everything I can to hold on to what I have, pretending I'm a Superman. I'm trying to keep the ground on my feet. It seems the world is falling down around me. The nights are long. I'm singing the song to try to make the answers more than maybe. And as I continued to listen, I realized that the band was using their music to express how they felt. And from that day forward, music became my therapy. I was stressed, put on some music, feeling bad, write a song about it. And without realizing, music had pulled me out of a hole of sadness, and it gave hope for a brighter future. Without realizing it, music had saved my life. That's how I managed to solve my problems. But I know there are lots of people who are going through things and they feel like the problems will never go away. But I want to tell you that they will. Life will always be full of challenges, but instead of letting them drag us through the dirt, we should find ways to overcome them. We should not let our problems stop us from doing the things we love. We should not let them control our lives. So I ask you, if you know someone who is struggling with something, please help them find a way to overcome it. Don't just let them give up on life. Be there for them and help them. And if you yourself are struggling with something, find a way to overcome it and live life to the fullest, because you deserve a life of happiness. Giving up is not worth it. Not in this lifetime. Scene.
Woo! I love it how these monologues are talking to each other. It seems like they're all having a conversation. Yay, Juan! Thank you for making us so happy and singing to us. And FYI, I listened to that album by Goldfinger on repeat on my Discman way back in the olden days. All right, take us home, Lizbeth. Take us home.
Okay. Hello. Wait, Myth, can you give me a minute? Sorry, I'm having like some tech issues.
Totally. Anyone want to talk about why it's so important for us to come together and share our stories? Mini seminar? Anyone? Anyone have
It's
thoughts?
so,
Yeah.
it's so we won't feel alone and we can know that other people have experienced what we have experienced or are open to hearing your stories. And it just helps, it works as like a type of therapy. And being vulnerable is not bad at all, especially when it's to people that care about you.
And Marion says we need to be heard. I know as soon as I start putting my stuff in art, theater, it's like, oh, I'm free. You good, Lizbeth?
Yeah.
Love it.
Sorry
Good.
about that.
Points for everyone. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Great.
Hello, my name is Lizbeth Ariano. Today I'll be performing a monologue that I wrote that's called My Past. Okay. The easiest thing to be in the world is yourself. The most difficult thing to be is what other people want you to be. So tell me why we put our emotions aside to please others. Because the way we feel, think, or act, it all comes down to our mental health. Our mental health follows us in every stage of our lives. Our mental health deserves more recognition. Now, I'll be honest. My past wasn't the best. Middle school. Middle school was like going through a dark maze with no way out, dealing with constant worrying, trying to fit in, putting others before myself, having to hold my tears for fear of being laughed about, getting bullied, being stared at. Oh my God, do you see her crying? She's such an attention seeker. But this is the sad reality. People have judged me before knowing me. This is why I make sure I'm kind. I'm kind because I don't want to judge someone who may be healing from these they don't talk about. Because you may never know if someone is feeling suicidal, facing an eating disorder, dealing with internal struggles. You may never know why someone acts the way they do. I have struggled with anxiety. I remember being a 6-year-old girl, feeling nauseous, having to run to the restroom once I got to the school. It's no big deal, right? But it got to the point where the ladies in the office would get annoyed with me and tell me, if you feel sick, just stay home. But how am I supposed to stay home if I always feel like this? How am I supposed to stay home and not get my education? Why do I feel like this? The way I would beg my mom to please let me stay just so I wouldn't embarrass myself at school. Please, Mom, I don't feel good. I can't explain it. I don't know how to. My mom would try to reassure me and tell me everything will be okay. And she would tell me, it's okay, Neha. But I also saw the frustration in her face, how stressful it was for her to find out what's happening with me. So I kept it in. However, I still feel like that 6-year-old girl. If only I can go to a time machine and tell her that everything will be okay. Here I am, a senior in high school, thinking about the amount of times I've been told, you're exaggerating, or why are you getting so nervous? Take a chill pill. But no, I can't chill. How do you want me to chill when I can't even control my emotions? Telling me to just snap out of it? If it were only that easy, being able to get rid of my anxiety, like a light switch turning off and on, off and on, off and on. But the truth is, you can't. You can't see the days I wake up at 6 just to go early to school because I'm afraid of being late, and being late makes me anxious. Being nervous throughout school. Looking at the clock. Tick, tock, tick, tock. When is this class going to end? I feel... And then that day repeats and repeats. That's a day in my life. It feels like all the walls are closing in on me. I can't think. I can't stop fidgeting with my fingers. I can't. I'm just there. You don't see the amount of times I've had to tell myself, you got this. Just volunteer to go first so you get it out of the way. Or try not to eat so much in the morning so you won't get nauseous in class. Whatever you do, don't show that you're weak. I remember someone asking me, hey, are you okay? As I'm trying to distract myself from anxiety, I count in my head, 1, 2, 3, and I say, oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, I'm okay. That's me hiding my emotions. That's me wearing a mask. And I think to myself, please don't get anxious. Please don't get anxious. I look around my class, and as I see my teacher getting ready to quote call a student, my hand starts to tremble, and I think to myself, should I raise my hand or do I wait to be called on? Why am I feeling like this? Do you still want me to snap out of it? Don't ever tell me to snap out of it, because you've never walked a mile in my shoes. Because this was a time in my life where I felt stressed. Stressed because sometimes I felt like I wasn't good enough. Constantly tearing myself down and saying, I could do better, be better. So please, don't mistake my anxiety for rudeness. Don't mistake my anxiety for weakness. But don't mistake it and think I won't defend myself, because I will. And I won't only defend myself, but I will defend others as well. Because we all have struggles, and that's part of life. Mine's just happens to be my anxiety. One thing I strongly stand by now is not letting my anxiety overcome me and not letting people dictate how they want me to act. We are not in this world to please others. So if you're struggling with your mental health right now, never believe you're weak, because you are far from it. You know, you want to know what I think about you? I think you are strong. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions are not your problem. You make sure you stay kind, committed to love, and free in your authenticity. Don't wear a mask to hide your authentic self. And I don't regret the difficult things I have been through, because it made me who I am. I wouldn't be here right now talking about my mental health if it wasn't for what I've been through. I will always remain humble, because I know what it feels like to get bad grades, to feel unconfident, to feel unmotivated. Sorry. We need more mental health awareness and acceptance. Why? Because us as young kids and adults, need to stop trying to fit in and think that being vulnerable makes you weak, because it really does not. Because being in an environment where all the teachers are not judgmental and really care about their students' well-being has really helped me and has made a difference. We need to change the way people view mental health so that we can have more schools and environments like AGR.
Thank you, Lizbeth. I'm a little speechless, but I just want to tell you all, and I think I speak for Miss Davis or anyone else, all the grown-ups in the room, the world feels very scary right now, but I'm not scared when I hear you speak. So I'll say that again. As a grown-up, I'm scared about the world that my kids are going to live in, but then I'm not scared anymore because I know you guys will take care of the world. So as a mother, I thank you very much, and I thank you for educating each other, and I want you to kind of like think about how big this is, what a big deal it is that you guys all said this in isolation. I want you to like acknowledge how special this is, and I'm not going to tell you to go work, but if you feel inspired to go make something in your journal or do more art, or you really heard your story and someone else's story and you're having like a aha moment, you know, do something like run, kind of like put this moment down so you remember it, because we feel the strongest when we're together, and we need to record and make record of our strength. So when we're feeling sad and lonely, we can flip back on those pages and remember tonight, because the world is filled with crescendos and valleys and hills, and you're not alone. You're not alone. This is part of being a human. The conflict is the essence of drama. It's the essence of humanity. We're broken, right? But we heal each other's broken spots. So thank you. We're AJR. Yeah, Evelyn's like, and now I'm gonna go paint. So good job, everyone. I didn't know it would be this long. I didn't actually know, so I'm gonna go take care of my kids. But I do want Marion to hang back for a second. I just want to check in with you. And everyone, really great. I feel like we need to have a longer seminar about this sometime. I'll figure it out, but I think we need to talk more about it. We don't have enough instructional minutes. Juan says, today was one of the best nights of my life and one of the darkest eras of human history. I don't know if you could say it any better. Kids were power. It was better than the rehearsal performance. It always is. Something about the audience, Angie, makes it amazing. Okay, so if everyone could like, I know we all want to sit, stand, and like hug, but you know, we gotta go. I gotta go. So you guys can all go. Love you. You could go. Oh yeah, we're virtually hugging. Okay, you guys want to take here? Put your camera on. No, you can't. Never mind. I'm recording. Okay, but everyone do a virtual hug. Virtual hug.
I got you.
Okay, we're hugging each other. I love Amar's like giving me a virtual hug. I could feel it.
We're supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Oh shoot! I forgot. My bad. I'm sorry. Oh shoot! I got the woman.
Funny. Look, she's showing her face. She's showing her face. Hi, everyone. Hi. She can't stop. Everyone's hugging. Oh, they're just all opening. Everyone's waving. As everyone, it's okay. I'll edit it out. It's okay. I love it. You guys are great. Virtual hug. Goodbye. Have a good night. Go drama forever. AJR's got a special thing going with these drama kids. You guys rule. Okay, I'm proud of all of you. Good job. And I'm proud of everyone who, even though they may have procrastinated a little or a lot. Goldfinger forever. All right, bye guys. Marion's still in the room. I'm gonna stop recording.